right, so this next piece talks about solving story problems involving quadratics. Okay, so basically what this is it's taking all of the ways that we've learned to solve quadratics and applying it to a story problem. So you've got a model rocket is launched from the roof of a building. Its flight path is modeled by h equals -5t squared plus 30t plus 10. So guys, automatically, you always want to make sure you have your equation. Okay, I'm just going to rewrite my equation. Okay, h stands for the height of the rocket above the ground in meters, and t is the time after the launch in seconds. Okay, it says, what is the rocket's maximum height? Okay, so guys, when we graphed these way back when, okay, you had the potential of getting something that looked like this. Okay, and our maximum height was what we called the vertex. So what we're going to do for this problem is we're actually going to find the vertex. So whenever you see the word maximum or the word minimum, because that's another word that we can happen upon, okay, we're going to find the vertex. So if you remember to find the vertex, you got to start with the x equals -b over 2a. So that would be -30 over 2 times -5. So we get -30 over -10, which is 3. Okay, so that's a t. Actually, I shouldn't say x over here. That should actually stand for t. Okay, so after 3 seconds, I get my maximum height. Okay, now that is not in meters. Okay, so we have to take that 3, plug it back into our equation. So we're going to have h equals -5 times 3 squared plus 30 times 3 plus 10. Okay, so we're going to get our fancy calculators out. We're going to get 55. Okay, so we get h equals 55. So that would be 55 meters because h is in meters. Tells you right up there in the equation, in the problem. Okay, so that would be my maximum height right there is 55 meters. Okay, so that's one way of using a story problem to find different pieces of information using our quadratic information that we've learned so far. The second problem that we're going to do has 3 different parts. So you've got a water balloon is catapulted into the air so that its height, h, in meters, after t seconds is given to you by that equation. So h equals -4.9 t squared plus 27t plus 2.4. So part A says, how high is the balloon after 1 second? Okay, guys, this is a t value, right? And it wants to know its height after 1 second. So we're going to take our t and plug it in. So we're going to have h equals -4.9 times 1 squared plus 27 times 1 plus 2.4. So then we're going to use our calculators. Type that in. Try that again. So I get 24.5. So it is 24.5 meters in the air after 1 second. Okay. Part B says, what is the maximum height of the balloon? So guys, that's exactly what we just did on the last story problem. So we're going to start with our vertex. So -27 over 2 times -4.9. Okay, so then we type that into our calculator. So 27 divided by 9.8 is approximately, so about 2.8. So that's the time that it takes to get to its height. Now we're going to take the 2.8 and plug it in. So So we're going to have h equals negative 4.9 times 2.8 squared plus 27 times 2.8 plus 2.4. Okay, so use your calculators. So we get 39.584 meters. So about 39.5 meters in the air. Okay, so that's our maximum height. Then part C says, when will the balloon burst as it hits the ground? Okay, so whenever a question asks you, how long does it take to hit the ground? Okay, your height on the ground is 0. So h is 0. So what we're going to do is we're going to take our equation and set it equal to 0. And then we're going to solve that. So using one of your ways that you've learned to solve, whether that's factoring, square rooting, completing the square, or quadratic formula. For a problem like this that has decimals, the easiest one for you to do is the quadratic formula. Okay. So we're going to have negative 27 plus or minus the square root of 27 squared minus 4 times negative 4.9 times 2.4 all over negative 4.9 times, 2 times that, sorry, 2 times a. So we get 27 plus or negative 27 plus or minus, here's where your calculator is going to come in handy because decimals are not easy. So 27 squared is 729 minus, and then we're going to take 4 times negative 4.9 times 2.4. We get negative 47.04 all over negative 9.8. So then we get negative 27 plus or minus the square root of 729 plus 47.04, which is 776.04 divided by negative 9.8. So then split it up into your two equations. So we got the positive one, and we've got the negative one. Oops, 27 minus. And then we're going to type those into our calculators. Okay, so while I'm doing it in my calculator, you should do it in yours. So for the first one, I get negative 0.08. Then for the second one, I get 5.6. Okay, so one of our answers makes sense for what the question asks us, the other one doesn't. Okay, so it says, when will the balloon burst as it hit the ground? So these are both in time. When we talk about time, do we ever talk about negative time? No. Okay, so this actually doesn't give us a correct answer. Our balloon hits the ground after 5.6 seconds.